Hello everyone and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of Bellow and Raw. This audio podcast as part of a Chrome edition. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production. Now looking at investigations. So in around the investigations of myasthenia. So in around in as part of the neurology. In a part of the neurology, clinicians may request a CT of the chest, computerized tomography of the chest, magnetic resonance imaging or MRI of the chest. Look at nerve stimulation, try nerve stimulation to determine the characteristic of decrement in the evoked action potential following continued stimulation of motor nerve, and also look at a look at sort of single fiber electromyography or EMG, which is more which has been identified as being more sensitive, around 90%, but not specific, for myasthenia. In around immunology, in around the immunology, in myasthenia investigation, referred to as tensilon test, which is a short-acting acetylcholinesterase inhibitor is administered while observing the clinical effects on involved muscles, and muscle-specific kinase protein investigation has been used to detect acetylcholine acetylcholine receptor on the muscle cell surface on muscle cell surfaces. In around some of the laboratory investigations biochemistry. Biochemistry, there is the thyroid function tests, which are indicated to rule out associated Graves' disease or hypothyroidism, and this is essential, especially in patients or recipients with ocular myasthenia, where the concomitant hypothyroidism is most frequent, and a rheumatoid factor, and anti-nuclear antibodies are indicated to rule out systemic lupus erythematosus (SLE) and rheumatoid arthritis or RA. In around the pathology, or general pathology, muscle biopsy, has been indicated in cases. However, muscle biopsies are also rarely performed. Rarely performed. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix article. This audio podcast as part of a Bellow and Raw. This audio podcast as part of a Chrome edition.